B'Ezras Hashem, this Sunday night and Monday, we will have a very special day, a day that not everybody understands how significant it is, and that is the 15th of Shvat, BiShvat. We don't say Tachanun that day. And Chazal tell us that BiShvat is the Rosh Hashanah Le'ilanais, is the new year for trees. Now, technically, that is a halachic idea, and that is when you take off trumais and maisris, the halacha is you have to take it off from the produce of that year, meaning I cannot take off peiros of this year to cover my meiser obligations of last year. Rather, last year's maisris must be given from last year's produce, and this year's maisris must be given from this year's produce. Now, normally, for most grain and for vegetables, Tishrei is the Rosh Hashanah, but for trees, for fruits, it is the 15th of Shvat. And what that means is, any fruit that budded, even if it wasn't harvested before BiShvat, belongs to the old year, and any fruit that budded after BiShvat belongs to the new year. So technically, that is the meaning of Rosh Hashanah Le'ilanais. But the emes is, in the Sifrei Kabbalah and Chasidus, they find a much deeper message, and that is, a person himself is called a tree. Ki ha'adam eitz hasadeh. And indeed, we are described as an upside-down tree. An earthly tree has its roots in the ground, and the branches extend up to Shamayim. We are the opposite. Our makor, our root, is in Shamayim, and we are extended into earth. So consequently, when we say that BiShvat is Rosh Hashanah Le'ilanais, that has relevance not only to a physical tree, but it also has relevance to us, because it is a Rosh Hashanah for us as well. Now you might ask the kasha, how is it shaykh to say that BiShvat is a Rosh Hashanah for us? After all, the Rosh Hashanah for human beings is on Rosh Hashanah, Echad B'Tishrei, when God decides who will live and who will die. So the Chidushei Harim, the first Ger Rebbe, is masber, and again he has rayas for this, and we don't have time to go into it, that even though on Rosh Hashanah, HaKadosh Baruch Hu is gozer all of the hatzlachos that we're going to have, particularly in Ruchnius, meaning what we will be able to achieve, the maximums in Avodas Hashem, in Torah, in mitzvahs. Now, whether or not we achieve them is up to our bechira, but on Rosh Hashanah, HaKadosh Baruch Hu gives us kaiches, and those kaiches will determine what we are able to accomplish. But says the Chidushei Harim, even though the kaiches are given to us on Rosh Hashanah and sealed on Yom Kippur, we don't start drawing on those new kaiches till the 15th of Shvat. Which means until the 15th of Shvat, we are still living on last Rosh Hashanah's kaiches. After, from the 15th of Shvat onwards, we are getting the new kaiches that HaKadosh Baruch Hu gave us on Rosh Hashanah. Hopefully, those kaiches will be greater. Theoretically, it's possible they won't be as great, depending on the din of Rosh Hashanah. But bein kach u bein kach, says the Chidushei Harim, a spiritually sensitive person will be able to be oimed on the fact that his avodah before BiShvat and his avodah after BiShvat is going to be different. Because before BiShvat, he was drawing on the kaiches of the year before that were given to him, the Rosh Hashanah before last Rosh Hashanah. After BiShvat, he is drawing on those kaiches that Hashem decreed for him on Rosh Hashanah itself. So that's one idea of Rosh Hashanah Le'ilanais. In a more general idea, the idea of eating the fruits of Eretz Yisrael, eating the Shiva Saminim, There is from the Talmidim of the Ari even a Tu BiShvat Seder, in which some eat 12 different peiros, keneged the 12 arrangements of the Shem Havaya, Yudke Vavke, and some eat 30 different peiros, different things to do. But just to look at it, al derech hapshat, the Yesod HaDvarim is hakaras hatayv to HaKadosh Baruch Hu, for the foods that He gives us, which are beautiful in terms of nutrition, in terms of taste, in terms of smell, in terms of color. And the whole avodah of Tu BiShvat in the Achilas Peiros is to be makir taiv to the Ribbono Shel Olam for the chesed and the beauty that He put into the world. As the Chovos HaLevavos says, if we have to eat, HaKadosh Baruch Hu could have made mush. It didn't have to look good, it didn't have to taste good, it didn't have to have color and smell. But Hashem wanted there to be a geschmack. And that's part of the chesed of HaKadosh Baruch Hu. And we're made on that chesed on Tu BiShvat itself. It's interesting that Tu BiShvat virtually every single year is always a few days after Parshas B'Shalach. So it's already Parshas Yisro, but it's mechuber to Parshas B'Shalach. And Parshas B'Shalach itself is a source of a very interesting minhag that's based on hakaras hatayv. And that is, there is a minhag that some have, that on Shabbos Shira, which is Parshas B'Shalach, people put out food, breadcrumbs, for the birds. The Achrayim discuss why is that mutter. After all, you're not supposed to feed a wild animal on Shabbos because that's a tircha that's unnecessary, because they can fend for themselves, unlike your own dog or cat. The Aruch HaShulchan defends the minhag, other people criticize the minhag, but there's no question there was a minhag Yisrael, that many people still follow, to feed the birds on Shabbos Shira. Why do we feed the birds on Shabbos Shira? Because we want to express hakaras hatayv, because Parshas B'Shalach is the parsha of the man. And Moshe Rabbeinu told Klal Yisrael that the man will not fall on Shabbos, and that is why there'll be a double portion on Friday. But what happened was that Dasan and Aviram wanted to discredit Moshe Rabbeinu, so they took some of their Friday man and they scattered it on Shabbos so they could show the people that the man fell on Shabbos and Moshe Rabbeinu is a liar. So when they scattered their Friday man on Shabbos, I guess early in the morning and maybe late at night, the birds came and ate the man. So when Dasan and Aviram wanted to show people that Moshe is a liar, because there's man, there was no man. So Mimela, we have hakaras hatayv to the birds, and that is why we bedafka feed them on this Shabbos. So the emes is, you see three interesting yesodos in this minhag. First of all, you see hakaras hatayv is not only to a person, but it's even to an animal. Number two, you see hakaras hatayv is not only if I do something for you in order to give you a chesed, but even if I do it for my own selfish reasons. So the milkman, the nurse, the garbage man, the policeman, maybe they're doing their work because they get paid, but if it's something that's a tayelis for me, I have to be makir taiv, because who says the birds ate the man? L'shem shamayim, to protect Moshe Rabbeinu. The birds ate the man because they're hungry. Elamai, but since there was a Kiddush Hashem, we still have to have hakaras hatayv. It was a chesed to us. It was a tayelis to us. And therefore, the same thing is going to be true for any encounter that we have with people that do good for us, even if they get paid, even if they're doing it for their own selfish reason. And the third aspect that you see is that there's an inyan of hakaras hatayv intergenerationally. Because whatever birds I'm feeding today are not the same birds who ate the man thousands of years ago, but they might be descended from those birds. That is why you find by many, many Gedalim that they showed Gevaldiga Hakaras Hatayv to the great-great-grandson of someone that did a chesed for them many, many decades before. So it's interesting that Parshas B'Shalach with the minhag of Shabbos Shira is always kind of a hakdama to Tu B'Shvat. Because the minhag of Shabbos Shira to feed the birds is miyusad in Hakaras Hatayv. And Tu B'Shvat is Hakaras Hatayv to HaKadosh Baruch Hu, but even to the earth, the inanimate earth, for being mitzi all of the peiros to give hana to people. And in that way, if we make brachos, which of course is Hakaras Hatayv to Hashem, and we eat the peiros and we're makir the chesed of Hashem, we've taken what would have been an animalistic activity of eating, and we've turned it into avodas Hashem mamish. May all of us be zeicha to a good Rosh Hashanah le'ilanais. May the kaichais that HaKadosh Baruch Hu makes available to us be great. May it elevate us to new levels in avodas Hashem. A good Shabbos.
שכמתיות שנותנים ממך יהיו כמו